Hi, and welcome. It's Jodine Sher of Lifeology, your transformation coach, intuitively using numerology and tarot and my passion for astrology to guide you on a month-to-month basis on what is happening with the energy for the month ahead. We are in the final stretch of 2020. It has really been long awaited to get to that point. It's been exhausting for so many of us, but we're here and we're in an energetic 7 months, and it's really different to the 6. But what I just want to let you know, today's the 30th of November. I usually do these readings on the 1st of the month, but it was really important that I did it today because we are sitting with this eclipse today, this full moon eclipse energy that has really and truly been so intense. Everyone that I've spoken to today, including myself, has really gone through quite an emotionally hair-raising day. And it's because this closing out of this 6 month, which is November, has really been important just energetically before we step into the 7. The reason why the 6 has been so intense, I'm sure that if we have conversations, they're going to be very much aligned with, it was deeply external. It was about relationships with other people. So many things seemed to be consuming me, and I've really felt exhausted and struggled to find time for myself. The reason why it was so intense, so close to the end, is because when we step into a 7 energy, it really becomes deeply personal, and it becomes about this learning to distinguish whether you are listening to your head or whether you are listening to your heart, and where your energy sits and how you learn to connect and tap into yourself and your universe, which sits within the 7. So a 7 number becomes deeply personal. And what can happen is that you can get a little bit lost in the detail in a 7 month, and you can forget that a lot of this journey is about being naturally intuitive and connecting, and so much of the soul journey is about aligning and working energetically with the universe and what you define as your belief systems. And as this year is coming to an end, as we're closing off of this major 4 year, which asked the question from the very beginning of the year, every single month through, it's really been asking the question, do you understand your foundation? And then every month, because of the numerology, it's been different. Do you understand your foundation of your relationship with yourself, your relationship with other people, your relationship with money, your relationship with the universe? Do you understand the foundation in each level? And in the 7 month, the big question is, do you deeply understand the foundation of what defines you as a person within your belief system? And because of that, it's kind of guaranteed that on some level there's going to be this conflict within the head and the heart during the month of December. And it's not a prediction. I don't ever do predictions because I know each one of us is so deeply based on choice, but it is the science of the numbers that's really saying that your belief system will deeply be questioned. And also what happens is frustration can build up, because if you don't trust your own belief system, and then you are working with other people when your stories are not aligned, it can be a month where the conflict doesn't only happen between your head and your heart, but it can happen with other people if there's disagreement in the way that you are trying to process. So watch your friendships, watch your partnerships, work partnerships, intimate partnerships, and figure a way to allow each other to process your own belief systems and still figure a way to work together and coexist and have the same vision, plan, and goals, because it's really important within any level of partnership. The big thing about the numerology 7, especially in this 4 and heading towards the end of this really intense year, is that your beliefs are going to be deeply questioned. It's going to come to the end of the year. I do feel like it's not going to be relaxed. We might have the opportunity to feel like we're winding down, but there's going to be such a push to make 2021 different that it might not be a relaxed energy through the time of December. And the thing that is most important is that the universe, your energetic universe, is asking you during the entire month of December to see whether you are aligning more with your intuition and processing and doing everything in the head. There's something deeply personal that I want to talk about, and I'm going to talk about it more than once now, because so much of the 7 month is about self-reflection and soul searching and real introspection. And one of the things that keeps on coming up for me is that it's really important that I let you know that so much of what I do and how I guide is because I get these messages from the universe. I do automatic writing, and I sit and I write them down. If you've been following me on any of my stories, and sometimes I post them on Facebook or I post them into Instagram, and I hashtag messages from meditation. It's literally guidance that I hear. And so much of the stuff that we teach in the transformation coaching is coming from those messages. The process of faith, which is focus, acceptance, intention, trust, and happiness. The happiness compass that we work with, it's all been these beautiful messages that have come through. And it's so important that I share with you that one of the clear messages that is coming through is that 2020 has pushed us to rely deeply on our intuition, to be as present as we possibly can, and to watch how life unfolds and learn how to move with the unfolding of life. It's not about the plans and the goals anymore. The reason why I'm saying it now in talking about the start of the 7 month is because when I talk about the astrology of this month, it is literally so big and so intense. And I want you to see how it ties in with the 7 and how it ties in with this big push to learn to trust our intuition over our processing of our mind. It's really important. So let's have a look at what's happening with the moon phases as we go along. So we are on the full moon today, which is the eclipse as well. And then we're going to head into on the 7th of December, this last quarter cycle. I do want to tell you, it's been so beautiful. I mentor an incredible young woman, and we've been doing it for over a year now. And we are now doing the moon cycles together. So we speak to each other on each one of the moon cycles. So if you want to learn how to work with the moon cycles, please get hold of me and let me help you, guide you through the process. It's absolutely beautiful. In the last quarter of the moon, which is in Virgo on the 7th of December, I love that it's Virgo because it's really practical. And it's time to reorganize and rethink. What a great time at the end of the year to sit with your visions and your plans before you get into the energy of 2021, and not plan and visualize and set goals like we have done in all these years before, but to have more of an open flowing energy into 2021 and saying to the universe, more of my organizational plan will be to figure my way through this journey with you. But it's still really important to have intentions and know the things that make you happy and that bring you joy, because that is what the universe wants to hear and wants to feel from you in this processing. Then the 11th of December is the balsamic phase of the moon. That is the 72 hours before we get to new moon. And in that phase, the best thing to do is plan what you would put on your new moon list. It is in Scorpio, so it's also nice in this one to dig a little bit deeper and see the things that you would want to do that bring about shift and energetic change for 2021. What's so important to understand is that you cannot put on the list anything that impacts or influences anyone but yourself. And you also can't put any kind of timeline. If we've learned anything, please don't say to the universe, I want a house within the next 5 months. You can do it, and for some of you it's going to work out, but it's so few and far between. The universe wants you to say things like, it is my deepest desire to live in a beautiful home, and it will be in the right place and it will be at the right time. And that is the kind of messaging that's important ahead of this 14th of December new moon. And the new moon is an eclipse. So we started eclipse season today with this full moon eclipse, and now this new moon on the 14th of December is a Sagittarius eclipse, Beautiful new moon because it's filled with optimism. Sagittarius is filled with optimism, and it's also your ability to see clearly. So my suggestion for this new moon is to really reflect back on 2021. I mean, on 2020. Don't fall into the trap of the collective and say things like good riddance to 2020. Please take this time on this new moon to have a look at the big picture of 2020. What were the underlying gifts? How did you grow? How did you shift? How did you change? Even if you're saying things like, it was daunting, it was petrifying, but I'm still here. It was fearful, it drained my soul, but it's still here. It drained me financially, it drained me emotionally. If you can do that on this new moon, it'll help you to energetically leap into this new year with optimism. I am asking you so nicely. I'm going to be back before the year ends, and I'm going to talk about the energy of 2021. We're going to talk about the numerology, and I'm going to do an overview of the major things that are going to happen in 2021. But it's so vital for you to step into 2020 celebrating all that you became. 2021, you've got to celebrate all that you became in 2020. Please energetically start this new year off like with real gusto and gumption, and proud of who you are and how far you have come through this year. It's very important energetically. On the 21st of December is the first quarter, which is in Pisces. So the 21st of December, I want you to remember this date for when we go a little bit later. This is not a major thing. A first quarter moon is not really a major thing. It's kind of a point where we just check in if we're doing a new moon list. Because it's Pisces, it's a very sensitive time, and it asks you to be patient, and it asks you to be compassionate, and it asks you to use your imagination, which is a beautiful way to end the year. But just remember the 21st of December. Okay. We're going to talk about it more. Then on the 30th of December, beautiful way to end the year, we have a full moon in Cancer. It is going to be an emotional end of the year. If you don't feel a whole lot of emotion, then just try and connect more with the moon, because you actually want to be emotional at the end of this time, because it's asking you to focus on your emotional security, your personal security, your financial security right at the end of the year. Obviously, the 30th of December, it means that debit orders are coming off, and there's a lot of people where there is anxiety around this energetic time of the year when it comes to money. I am going to be talking to you also before the year ends about this Money and Me course that Greg and I have put together so beautifully, because we really want to support and help people with the energy of money. And as this year comes to an end, and as this full moon is in Cancer, it could be deeply emotional about money and about your sensitivity and about your own sense of security. And I really want you to dig deep and focus on you knowing that you have this ability to shift and change and transform your life any way that you want to. That is what this full moon is going to really shine light on. Just try and focus as best as you can on being positive through this time. And the positivity is not outwards towards the universe. As important as it is for us to have our belief system, we also have to believe in ourselves. You can say, I believe in my universe, in my God, in my religion, in my practices, I believe in my meditation. You can say all of that. But if someone says, do you believe in you? You've got to be able to answer that. It's very important. Okay, so now I've been waiting to talk about this. And as astrologers, people who are truly astrologers, because I just gather the information and share it with you. I haven't formally studied astrology. This is a time that people have been waiting for so long. The 21st of December, 2020 is a whopper of a day. It's a whopper of a day. It is that, first of all, it is that first quarter of the moon that I said it wasn't such a big energetic thing. But then we've all heard that song, The Dawning of the Age of Aquarius, right? This 21st of December is pinned as potentially the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Because on this particular day, Jupiter and Saturn, they meet in Aquarius and they conjunct within Aquarius, and it's called the Great Conjunction. It might not sound like a big thing, but the last time it happened like this was 400 years ago. And this energetic relationship between Jupiter and Saturn now lasts 200 years. It's long and it's slow, but this is what it's about. It's our call to embrace unconditional ways of thinking and of being, and it works within every aspect of our lives. We can see that there's been so many places where life has been set up differently within 2020, and we're talking about what we call the new normal. And there's going to be more and more of this new normal. But what's really important for each one of us to understand is that one of the biggest shifts that is happening is leaving the old ways of creating and manifesting and being behind. So this is where a lot of my shifts and changes within Lifeology, along with Greg, we're really going to start supporting you and shifting. I'm going to start talking about what it means to be in third dimensional work, which is coming from fear-based energy, but it's also third dimensional thinking is a lot of vision boards and affirmations and setting goals, and moving into fifth dimensional energy, which is more about this collective unity of processing and this shift in unconditional love. But it's also about not needing the vision boards and the goals and the plans, and not having to spend 2 hours or an hour meditating, more of instant processing and a different kind of level and feeling within the way that we create and manifest. And a perfect example is that you won't say that you need a vision board. You will say that you are moving in the direction of happiness, and you energetically shifting that. And you will have beautiful things like intentions. When we want to teach you how to set up intentions and have way more trust in yourself and in the universe. There's actually a real lack of trust in ourselves and in our universe if we need to say to the universe, I want this and I want this and I want this, if we don't believe that we will be moved and guided into the right direction. So this is why this is so powerful. And I'm seeing some beautiful comments coming up, so I do want to stop, because Graham said amen, and Thalia has said wow, and Raksha has, I'm actually going to pop this up. Raksha has said, finally, this sounds promising, Joe. After the year I've had, I say bring on the 21st of December. Me too. And that's exactly, we need to be singing in this new energy. We need to be dancing in this new energy. It's really important to shift into this energetic space. So what's really important to understand about this energy is that it's deeply about personal connection to yourself, but it's also about how to shift your community. So there's going to be a lot of shifts in who you connect with, how we connect, how we relate as people, and it is going to be slow, but it's definitely going to have started. The 21st is also the start of Capricorn season on the same day. So, and this could be a shift that we actually feel. And in that shift that we feel, it could become more serious. It's going to be, we're going to be getting closer to the end of the year, and that headspace could start to shift, where the serious Capricorn is going to say things like, you can't put your head in the sand, don't ignore certain things, don't sweep things under the carpet. And I want to tell you something. It is so important, especially when it comes to money. And these are one of the messages that Greg and I are really going to be pushing and guiding and supporting you through the whole of 2021, is money drives you to tap into your self-esteem, your deep bravery. That's what money's work is. There's so many things that we ignore for as long as we can, but then when a money situation comes up, we absolutely have to face it. And one of the things that money calls us to do is to not put our head in the sand. So in this December period, please just find the bravery to know what's happening within your finances. Don't hide away from anything. Face them head on, be brave, so that when you step out of this 4-year and into this 5-year, you are feeling a level of bravery. Dahlia is asking if it's hectic times ahead. It's optimistic times ahead. That's the real word. It's such optimistic times ahead. And I'm going to give you a snippet, because this question's been asked, of what 2021 is like, because it's a 5-year. For me, it's a real crossroad year. And what happens in the 5 is that it's so much about choice. A 5-year is so much about choice. And it's always about, do I choose this path or do I choose this path? It's what's going to happen the whole time. And that question of, is it hectic times ahead? It's actually according to your path of, are you going to choose to see it as hectic, or are you going to choose to see it as optimistic? Are you going to choose to see it as frightening, or are you going to choose to see it as an opportunity to be brave and bold? That's what the whole of 2021, the essence of 2021 is going to be about. Okay, the 21st, we're not done yet. On the 21st of December, it is also the solstice. I don't know what I'm going to be doing on the 21st of December, because there's so much going on this day. It's also the solstice. And the solstice calls for us to deeply focus on our soul journey. And so the solstice tells the story of the moving of the sun and what the sun is doing in its journey. So if you are in winter solstice, it's really important for you to know that you need to complete your inner work before the sun finishes its journey and gets to spring. It's really time if you are, and for me, it is if you are in the space of winter at the moment, it's working with the planets. So if you were born in the southern hemisphere and now you're in the northern hemisphere, don't stick to what's happening in the southern hemisphere. Transcend your energy into the space where you are. If you are in winter, be within that winter space and go deeply in. Cocoon yourself and go in as much as you can to learn who you are, connect with yourself before you step out into the world in spring. And then for summer, I wrote down make hay while the sun shines, which is so beautiful. So what it's saying is put yourself out there as much as possible until it's time to go inwards and nurture yourself in the winter. And it's really important. And I feel like it's an important message for every single entrepreneur to hear. I'm an entrepreneur. It's tough. It really and truly is. And this energy, especially around this 21st, when everyone's going, oh, well, maybe I should lay low. Christmas is coming. The New Year's coming. Maybe I should just stop and do nothing for a while. Actually, it's really a good time just to put yourself out there if you are in the Northern Hemisphere. Find ways to show the world that you are still around, you are present. And I know that each one of us needs a break. But even if you just keep people reminded that you are there within 2021, offer them something. Let's connect in January. Set up a couple of appointments in December and only meet in January, but still take the time to energetically make hay while the sun shines. That 21st of December is really, really such a massive time for us. So I'm going to just end off by telling you that within the spirit of being in the Southern Hemisphere and making hay while the sun shines, and knowing how deeply important it is to understand the numerology of the time ahead, I am offering, I'm in the Southern Hemisphere, but you can contact me from anywhere in the world. Just go onto the website, Lifeology. When you get there, click onto our services, and then you'll see, no, that's the wrong one. I shouldn't have popped that one up. You will see that I've got a numerology special. That's what I want to say. I've got a numerology special, 33% off, and I'm doing your numerology for 2021. And in the numerology for 2021, we're going to look at what is the energy of the 5-year. How does it relate to your life path number? How does it relate to your personal year? And what is a personal year? We take your day and your month and we add it to 2021. And that then gives you your personal year. And we have a look at all of that so that you understand your year from a numerology point of view. We also have gift vouchers if there's someone who you want to gift any of our services to. And also what I love to do, because, I mean, if you don't know now, COVID really and truly changed the dynamic of our business. And I had been doing tarot for over 16 years. And on New Year's, I was gifting a whole lot of my friends with tarot, and now it's a beautiful service of mine. And a new year is an incredible time to have a tarot reading, and you can do that tarot and have a look at. We can do it for the energy of 2021. What I am going to do is I'm going to make sure that I do this energy update for January round about the 28th or 29th of December, so that we can really energetically prep for the new year. But I will also be back talking about a roundup of 2020 and the energy of 2021. It really is a big one. And I want to end by thanking you for making this transition for me. It's because of the requests that I got through the year that I am doing each and everything that I am doing. When we closed Chat Factory and the social media division of the business because of COVID, and I really sat like deer in the headlights trying to figure out what to do. And I was in the transformation coaching, I was asked by one of my clients if I knew anyone who did tarot, and then confessed that I did tarot. And then the past lives reading was another request that was sent through to me. And these energy updates, I used to do them sporadically. And the number of people who have said to me, Jodine, please do not miss 1 month with these energy updates. It's so helpful. That's why I'm doing all of it. And then at the start of the new year, which I'm excited to add, is I'm going to be doing special private packages that you can choose from, where this energy update will always be public for all of you, but you can then go onto our website and select really simple packages where I will pull a tarot card for the month, or I can pull one specifically for you, or you can opt in to have your numerology personally done for you during the month, as well as a tarot card reading. And all of this is requests from people along the way. So I'm so grateful. And I can't forget my passion and my love for social media, which is absolutely thriving. So if you are looking to have your social media strategy done for 2021, I'm also so absolutely there to help you and support you along the way. So I'm ending by really wishing you a deeply inward 7 energy, especially with this big 21st of December that's coming along. Just trust your intuition like you have never trusted it before in your whole life. And what's really difficult in this processing is that intuition is not the heart, and intuition is not the head. It's something that is so energetically within you, and you've got to learn to trust it. And don't only say that you trust the universe or you trust your belief system. It is so important in this 7 energy to learn that it doesn't matter what you trust outside of yourself. You have got to learn to trust what's inside. Sending you lots and lots of love.